Hey guys, so I wanted to do an honest review of this G920 or G23 if it's for PlayStation. The G920 is for the Xbox One, which is what I'm running. So that's what we're going to review today. But the G23 is exact wheel just for PlayStation. So that's why people get confused with that. But yeah, anyway, so for the G920 or slash 23 and the Logitech steering wheel, I really recommend. It comes with the pedals. It's full wrapped in leather, like real leather. I have the ball bearings in the center of the column and the motors inside for the force feedback. It's pretty solid. I highly recommend. Makes you feel the road really good. Next things I want to note is it has stainless steel, actual metal butterfly shifters. That's pretty good. A very good built with quality, I would say. This wheel actually has a calibration setup where every time you turn the Xbox on or plug in the steering wheel or unplug and then plug it back in, basically it'll zero out, which actually I could show you right now. And it basically zeroes out to your center point. So it'll calibrate each way, full rotations, back and forth, and then set its center point. And it'll always be dead center. So I just unplugged it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here, let's plug it in now and I'll show you what it does. So yeah, see, it zeroes it out, dead center, top. A good wheel will do that. If you get one of those cheap thruster shit wheels, whatever, those little $50 wheels, like, they're not going to be good. Definitely not good because they don't do anything like that. These are probably the best money can buy until you start to get to the custom steering wheels that are like, you know, thousands of dollars with the setups and stuff. But that's like crazy talk. That's not anything most people are gonna buy. But this is about 400 bucks Canadian for this setup. But I highly do recommend. And no, this ain't paid sponsored or anything like that, this video. This is just my honest review. But yeah, definitely really well worth it. I find that if you do have the stock settings, you gotta find the games that you do like. So the ones that I highly recommend to feel like realistic, Assetto Corsa. It's on Xbox and I think PlayStation as well, I believe, but it's a PC game anyway. And then F1 2022 for drifting. You get the Ferrari on that. It's amazing. Now, so the one thing I will say is if you do want to do the drifting, say if you go on Assetto Corsa or F1 2022 or Dirt Rally 2.0, whatever. That one's pretty solid. It has pretty harsh feedback though on default settings. So depending on how the game is, you got to go into the settings on the main pause menu when you're in the game, and you got to set up the calibration for it. And then you got to make your own custom settings with your force feedback. Default's usually pretty good on each game. Basically, you got to tune the wheel for. That's why I was having struggles for the first week of owning it. I've probably owned this wheel for maybe over about 2 weeks almost. Pretty close to 2 weeks now. Just shy of. But yeah, it's been very good. Solid, durable wheel. It's made for long-lasting longevity. But yeah, basically, if you want to do the drifting on any game, I find less force feedback or whatever is way better. As long as you have some, just so you can feel the road and everything. Otherwise, you're not really going to know. Like, if you were to unplug this force feedback box that's linked in, if you unplugged that, then basically this just free floats, and wherever you turn it, it'll stay. It won't zero back to where it was. As you can see the resistance there. It'll just go right back to center. That's when the box is plugged in. If you were to unplug it, see? It just free floats. So it's pretty standard stuff, guys. But yeah, basically, I highly recommend keeping the force feedback on any of the games. You'd think it would be pretty cool. Oh, I could turn the force feedback off and just shred the wheel, right? But no, it's honestly better to have it on. Just minimize the amount of force feedback you have, and the road force feedback, all that stuff. Depending on the game, like Assetto Corsa or F1 2022, those are the two best games I would say. Forza Horizon is one of my favorite games on a controller, but as soon as you go to the wheel, it's It's arcade-like. It's not realistic. It's just not really made for a steering wheel. It doesn't work. So, honest review, F122 and Assetto Corsa. Highly recommend those two games if you're getting a wheel. But yeah, definitely worth the money, I would say, to get into sim racing. This is one of the best bang for your bucks. And one of the best setups, honestly, until you go custom and stuff. That's, you have boatloads of cash to go do it. But right now, as you can see, I don't have the sim frame or anything like that, because you don't have to rely on these anymore. They bolt into a frame with the seat adjusts, all that. But basically makes it a lot better of experience. But in time, right? There's actually a gearbox you can get. It clamps on like the steering wheel, like I was saying there, and yeah, it basically it's pretty solid. Like, these plastic clips are pretty hard to break. So, honest review, best steering wheel for the best price. This is definitely it. You can even find them at Walmart, GameStop, EB Games, anything like that, depending where you are. I'm in Canada, so it's kind of the stuff we have up here. But yeah, basically, if you want to race, keep the default force feedbacks pretty solid on them if you two-hand the wheel. But drifting, turn down the force feedback and the pause settings. You will definitely thank me later for that. It's just not worth fighting the wheel. Like, if you want to drift one hand or something, it's just, yeah. Two hands, it's doable, but it's still kind of a tough struggle with how intense some of the default force feedback settings are in each game. So yeah, remember, you'll have to tune them separately in each game that you play. And it won't mess with any of your other game settings. So that's my honest review on the G920 or G920 or G23, I guess, for the PlayStation. Thanks for watching.